Brees going to throw, and it's going to be caught. Caught by Colston for the touchdown.
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? This is Marques Colston. Happy to be joined here today with newly acquired 7th-round pick Tommy Stevens, and just happy to get a chance to welcome you first and foremost, and just get a chance to learn a little bit more about you and officially welcome you into Who Dat Nation. So I know this draft is the draft is always a crazy process, and this year with just everything that's going on, outside of football, I can only imagine how nerve-wracking and how crazy that process really was for you. Kind of walk me through what preparation looked like and really on draft day, just kind of that whole experience.
Yeah, no, it was definitely crazy. I think back to, I guess I'll take it back to starting the preparation for my combine or my pro day and things like that. Just kind of going through and trying to prepare myself, getting my body right to perform as possible, as good as possibly can. I got to the point where I was feeling really good, and then right about that time was when this virus started getting pretty serious, and they started shutting some things down. So. From that point, we kind of had to, make some adjustments. Obviously, I got to the point where, I just basically made it a point where I was just going to videotape my pro day by myself. And so, I got to the point where, I got the right people. I went back to Tampa, which was where I was training. And, my strength coach there basically set everything up to, give me the opportunity to perform, and was able to put down some really good numbers. So, after I finished with that, kind of went back home to Indy, and was able to just try to, do whatever I could just to kind of stay in it. Obviously, more and more things kept getting shut down. So, I was getting – there was one day I remember in particular I got kicked off of 3 different fields in a day just trying to find ways to get out there and work. So, got kicked out of that. So now I've got a gym set up in my garage, work out there with my dad and my brother, just, doing as much as I can. But it all led up to yesterday, and all in all, it was a dream come true. I'm so excited to be a part of the Saints organization, and all in all, I can't wait to get to work.
No, I can only imagine, man. And the thing I can tell you is that coming in as a 7th-round pick into this organization, specifically this offense. I know there's always they don't draft guys without a vision for them. You're probably going to hear Sean talk about it till he's blue in the face. But they do bring in players that they have a really unique vision for. And I'm as somebody that's kind of been in your shoes, man. I'm really excited to see what they have in store for you, and just kind of knowing and getting a chance to watch the kind of player you've been. Really excited to see, what they have in store for you. Again, being a 7th-round pick, I know it gets nerve-wracking kind of sitting through the draft and not really knowing what's happening. I guess, did you have an idea of where you might have been slated to get picked, or was it just kind of we're wait and see?
Yeah, no, I think that, I kind of went into it looking at it as, I was probably going to be, a 6th or 7th round guy, if that, I didn't necessarily know. My agent told me early on in the process that, my grade was going to be an undrafted free agent. So, which, it's still, a great opportunity, whichever way it was going to end up. I was incredibly thankful because, this is the dream I've had for, as long as I can remember, is to be an NFL football player. I was born and they put a football in my crib. So, it was kind of, I guess, destined to, be something like this, but, nobody really in my town thought it was maybe possible because, I think there's only been one other NFL player, and that was a long time ago to be drafted in the NFL. So, it's a dream come true. I've gotten a lot of support from the people that, I grew up with. I've been in the same township my whole life. So, not too big of a place. Everybody knows everybody. So, a lot of overwhelming support from Decatur Township. They've been great. And so, So yeah, it's definitely been, kind of like you said, a nerve-wracking process. I mean, even though I had that kind of vision of being, a later round guy, or maybe not even in the draft, I'm sitting back around the 6th or 7th round. I'm kind of getting antsy, just kind of wondering, how's it all gonna unfold, and seeing the teams that I had talked to, knowing that the Saints didn't have any picks left. I was kind of like, oh man, like, it's kind of probably not going to happen. And everything happens for a reason, and then they end up actually drafting me. So it was wild. It was wild for sure, but just another step in the journey.
I've only played in one organization, my entire career, and towards the tail end, that was by design. When I decided to hang them up, I just couldn't see myself going to another organization and putting on another jersey, just because the bar was so high, man. So definitely make the most of it. It feels like you're gonna walk in with the mindset, and a hunger to take advantage of every opportunity, and we're really excited to see what's in front of you, man. It's gonna be fun to watch.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Did you get a chance to speak with the organization much leading up into the process?
Yeah, yeah, no, it was, I talked to the Saints a little bit. I mean, there were quite a few teams that, my agent and I kind of, worked with, and the Saints were definitely in, that range of probably like the top, 3 teams that I was talking to. So it wasn't a complete shock that this is where I ended up.
Nice. And did just having a chance to talk to them today, I know you've lined up in a bunch of different positions. Did they mention any of those, the ability to kind of move you around in different positions at all?
Yeah, yeah, we definitely talked about it, and they kind of asked me. You talked about having a vision. They asked me actually what my vision was and how I thought I was going to kind of carve out a career. And I told them, I was like, Coach, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'll do whatever you guys ask of me. I do see myself as a quarterback, but I've been taught for as long as I've been playing football to play multiple positions by my dad and my uncles. So. Credit them for having me, I guess, ready to be in this kind of position. I don't think any of us had that in mind when I first started playing ball, but it's obviously a dream come true, and it's given me a chance to be here. And so, but yeah, no, they definitely said that my role would be similar to kind of the things that they've done with Taysom, and that sounds awesome, because I really respect his game and what he's been able to do for the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, it's been amazing just kind of from an outside looking in, just to see the things that he's been able to do the last few years. And like I said, man, they bring in offensive players with a vision for what they can do. And again, just being a guy that coming from a small school, and most people don't realize I played like left wide out for my entire 4 years in college. I never played in a slot, never even played on the right side of the field. So to get down there and kind of walk into the vision that they laid out, 10 years later, it was pretty good end result. So excited to see what's in store for you, man, for sure.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Your transfer down to Mississippi State. We spoke a little bit earlier about the heat in the Gulf South. What do you think the transition is going to be like, and how much different do you think it'll be with like this virtual world we're living in?
No, I definitely think that it's going to create some some unique opportunities for really everybody in the organization. I mean, obviously, none of us have went through this, and so it's not just going to be new to me. And so I think that definitely creates, like I said, some unique stuff about this, because there's no real protocol for it, I guess you could say. And so I'm going to be right along with the guys, just trying to do whatever I can, and whenever the time is right, I'm sure that I'll be getting to New Orleans as soon as possible, and I'm really looking forward to it.
No, that's a really interesting outlook, because I mean, yeah, it's going to be kind of a clean slate for everyone, and everyone's going to kind of get there around the same time, and be starting from ground zero. So yeah, I mean the folks that are going to be able to get, mentally a little more prepared, really understand the playbook when you get there. Um, I know that's one thing that Sean and Drew and those guys really, it's what makes the offense tick. I mean, when you got guys that know where to be, when they're supposed to be there, that offense can really roll on all cylinders. So yeah, man, that's a especially for a young guy, man. That's the right outlook, man. It's an opportunity at the end of the day, and
For sure.
make the most of every single one of those opportunities. Mhm.
What do you suggest? I guess where do you suggest I should figure out where to live, and then like your favorite places to eat and other things that you would do outside of football.
Yeah, I mean, I was always someone that I never really wanted to be in the mix, so I could never imagine myself living downtown. So I ended up out
Yeah, me
in,
either.
out in yeah, I ended up out past the airport in one of the suburbs, and the thing you'll find is there's a bunch of pockets of really good areas. You can kind of get exactly what it is that you're looking for. I mean, if you want to be kind of downtown in the mix, there's a bunch of areas downtown, bunch of condos and stuff. You got Old Metairie, you got Destrehan. That's where I ended up settling down. So you can find exactly what you're looking for down there. And the one thing I will tell you, man, is just like you, I had never gone down there before I got drafted, and you figure out really quickly that Southern hospitality is real, and it's
Hmm.
just a different speed. It's a different, um, coming from the Northeast, you just don't expect people to be nice for no good reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that fan base, that just that area, that the Gulf region in general, man, always will hold a special place in my heart. It was a really good 10 years down there. On the food front, I can't really speak to you much on that. You're probably going to be one of the guys that Sean is on.
Hmm.
I was probably one of the thinnest guys in the Weight Watchers Club for my whole career down there. So that was how he would say what's up to me in the mornings. He would ask me what my weight was. So I didn't get a chance to really dig in as much as I wanted
Oh
to in the
yeah.
food, but you can't really go wrong, man.
Awesome. Awesome. For a guy obviously kind of going into his rookie year, what were some of the things that I guess that you know now that you wish you would have known before?
Looking back, man, it was the thing it took me a while to figure out was just to really be confident in what I was seeing and be confident in my abilities. When you get down there, um, you kind of wear that seventh round label a bit, and the reality is once you get between those two white lines, it's a matter of, am I prepared? Do I know what to do? Do I know where to be? And can I do it full speed? And it took me a little while to kind of figure out that was the measuring stick. It really didn't matter, if I was a first round pick or a seventh round pick. You know what to do and can do it full speed. I mean, that's how they evaluate you. So I would urge you. I mean, the more you can learn, the quicker you can learn it, and it just give yourself a chance to really play at full speed from day one. And you put yourself in a really good position to succeed.
I guess last question for a guy that was kind of growing up and loving quarterback play. Obviously, I started playing quarterback as roughly about once high school started was kind of when I started playing a little bit of quarterback. I guess what
Mhm.
should I expect to see from a guy like Drew?
Man, playing with that dude for 10 years, um, you're going to see somebody at, what's he going to be, 41, 42 when his season starts. You're going to see somebody that grinds like he's a rookie free agent. It's amazing just to see the amount of work that he puts in, the pride that he takes in his work, and know that if there's a rep in practice that doesn't look quite right, well, you're going to get it after practice until it's right. And that's what makes him great. I mean, his attention to detail. I'm excited for you to be in the quarterback room with him, because that's a whole different level of detail that I didn't really even get a chance to see. But yeah, I mean, the way he approaches his craft, even 20 years in, man, it's amazing. It's amazing to watch, and that's, you know, he's one of the best that has ever put the helmet on for a reason.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait.
No, I'm really excited for you, man. Just going into that locker room, you know, with the Drews and the Taysoms of the world. You got Mike T, you got Kamara, you got all those guys on that offense, man, that they just bring. They're really good players, but you can tell that offense and that locker room in general, they build it with the right people. And, you know, just from this quick conversation with you, man, I can see, you know, you're gonna be able to step right in, and it's gonna be a good situation for you, man. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. It's awesome to hear.
Sir.